Welcome back, everyone. Great to have you here today. Episode 2996 of the Cabral Concept. This is our Friday review. We're going to be going over two brand new research studies, one for pets. Actually, we've got a pet research study today. One simple, I won't call it a supplement, but everyday healthy fat that you can add to your dog's food, just about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon maximum per day, depending on their weight. We'll go over a brand new research study as well on how much hydration, how hydrated should you be, and a simple one that you can check on your blood work. We're going to go over a book by a 102-year-old doctor. That's actually, she's becoming quite popular, which she deserves to be, really preaching what are called the 6 secrets to health and happiness at every age. And then, of course, we have our product review of the week. I'll be sharing that easy way to look at the 5 most common food sensitivities. But before we do so, let's go over the updates from the week. Always a lot going on inside of our global virtual practice. And it's actually this week that I'm taking off now for my last West Coast interview tour of the season before it is then time to roll into summer, enjoy, relax, and really have fun with family, of course, still doing my work, but really shifting gears away from traveling and speaking and going to events and all those great things, which I love. But July and August, more family time, and then we get right back at it. Of course, we have our event, the Reimagine Health Summit, coming then in October, which we'll be prepping for. So let's go over, though, what we have going on or just had going on this week over the Cabral Concept. In case you missed these shows, stay tuned. Episode 2992 was becoming anti-fragile and how that may hold the key to a lifetime of happiness and personal growth. Check out that show. That was a really fun one to talk about. Episode 2993 was the 5 most common food sensitivities. On episode 2994, it was how to assess a broken metabolism. It's a great one to look at as well. And then yesterday's show was nutrients that are depleted when you take certain medications. And I gave basically the top 10, let's call them medications, and what nutrients those deplete. So for you, if you have a practice, of course, your patients or your wellness clients and your loved ones, etc. Okay, today's episode 2996. Head on over to stephencabral.com/2996 now for all of the links. So I want to go over an introductory food sensitivity test. This is a lab that you can take right from home. The reason why I wanted to bring you this from Equilife is that it's $59, which is unheard of. There's no food sensitivity test anywhere in the world that's that inexpensive. And so what Equilife does is we simply take all of the profits and put them back in the company. And we also then just give the lowest possible cost to our community. That's the truth. Like, that is the 100% truth. Most food sensitivity tests, ours included. The full one is 190 foods. It's an amazing test. It's a few $100s. And maybe you don't have a few $100s to spend on testing your food sensitivities, or maybe you just don't want to, or maybe you want to pick up a few of these for multiple children. Well, any of those reasons are literally legitimate. And this test will look at chicken and almonds and eggs and dairy and gluten to see if any of those are sensitivities for you and your family. So the introductory price is $59. It's typically a $99 to $129 test. You can take it right at home. Simple finger prick. That's all that it is. Just as if you were taking your blood glucose, put a couple drops of blood on a card that's given to you. You ship it back to the lab. Again, the shipping is included in the United States. You ship it back to the lab. You get your results in about 2 to 3 weeks through a private and secure app where none of your information is sold. So this is really as good as it gets, meaning functional medicine is the future of health, and the future of health is here. You can test these things right from home, no expensive blood draws, no having to have a needle put in your arm, none of those things, and no needing to ask your doctor for permission. At Equilife, my team and I have hired a doctor in all 50 states in the United States, Canada, the UK, New Zealand, Australia. We have them sign off on it. And I oversee it personally. So that is that. It's called the Introductory Food Sensitivity Test. You can find all of these today. The links are at stephencabral.com/2996. All right, let's go on now to our book of the week. And this was a fun one. I actually saw an interview by this amazing woman, Gladys McGarry. I hope that I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. She's actually a medical doctor, not practicing anymore, but she's 102 years old. She's amazing, great energy, great spirit, and great words of wisdom. And so I want to share with you just a little excerpt from the book and then see if this is something that you may want to pick up. Now, when you get it and you listen to the 6 secrets of health, what you're looking at though is really an overall life philosophy. And so I don't want you to be disappointed. You're like, oh, it's to drink exactly this much water, take this exact supplement, do this, and this. No, it's a recipe for a healthy and happy life. And so much of what I've seen in my practice as well is that stress can be an underlying root cause to skin rashes and headaches and migraines and hormone imbalances and digestive issues. So really working on stress is mainly the key concept to this book. But let me just go through it for you. So in secret number 1, she is going to go over why you are here, meaning the reason why you are here. Section number 2 is in life, you need to keep moving in order not to become stuck. So again, I'm not going to give away the whole book. I wouldn't do that to a fellow author, but I think this is pretty intriguing. Secret number 3 is understanding that love needs to be a core element in your life. If you don't feel love, if you don't give love, you're going to be missing something that is essential to human being. Secret number 5 is that you are never truly alone. And I'm not going to go in depth on that, but really talking about the connections that we make in life and how so much of that is part of the blue zones as well. And then the last, why don't I do this? There's additional secrets, but I'm going to give you one more. And I'll save one more because, again, I think that it's always fair for the author to not maybe give all the secrets away. But before we get to the last one, there is one that says everything is your teacher. And it's a mindset. And I'm going to be sharing this again in a separate book, but looking at life instead of challenges and obstacles, that these things that we think are against us are often here to teach us something. And if we're willing to learn, they allow us to grow. So really nice book, easy to read, 225 pages. You can read this in a week or so, and really great work. So I might even have Gladys on the podcast. Maybe we'll do a fun interview with her. If you want me to interview her, just let me know in the comments. Leave that below. Love to obviously have a conversation if this is something the community wants. All right, so that's our book review of the week. It's called The Well-Lived Life. All right, 2 research studies coming at you right now. The first one is on hydration. So although I'm a huge proponent of at-home functional medicine lab testing, because that is what actually looks at the underlying root causes of dis-ease in the body or what may lead to disease, you still should run your blood work on an annual basis. No doubt about that. And when you run your blood work, let me just give you this. This is always give credit where credit's due. This is from Dr. Dimitrivia, a research scientist at the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute in Bethesda, Maryland, and is co-author of the study that had 16,000 adults in it in Lancet Discovery Science. So we'll link that up for you. But here's what it is. High blood levels of sodium can be an indicator of dehydration, which is something that I look at. So if sodium levels, which is Na, by the way, in your blood work, it won't say sodium. Well, sometimes it might say sodium. Oftentimes calcium will just say Ca, magnesium, Mg, potassium is K, the letter K, and sodium will be Na. So I just want you to be able to read your own blood work. So that's what sodium stands for, Na. It's just a chemical compound. And it shows that even when it's close to the upper limit, there was a 50% higher odds of being older than one's chronological age. You know, I'm always saying test your biological age, test your biological age, test your biological age. Well, if you've never heard me say that, I'll link up the biological age test today as well at stephencabral.com/2996 along with this research study. But it's so if you're dehydrated, higher sodium levels in the blood, 50% higher odds of having a higher chronological age or biological age than your chronological age. So if you're 50, it might show up as 55, 60 years old, which means you're aging faster. Okay. And then 64% higher odds of having a chronic disease. So basically you're 2/3 more likely to have a disease if your sodium levels are higher in your blood, and a 21% higher risk for early death. So basically a quarter more, which is not ideal. So this one says men should aim for about 12.5 cups of healthy fluids per day. In women, about 9. Honestly, it's a made up number. I said that before, but it's close enough. It depends on body weight. It depends on how much you sweat. It depends on a lot of factors, but smoothies count, fruit counts, veggies count, veggie juice counts. Obviously water counts, herbal tea counts. Essentially any non-caffeinated healthy beverage will count as water. Some forms of water are better than others. I'm going to be doing, I just spent, honestly, over the last, I would say 6 months, about 100 hours of research just on hydrogenated water. And I'm going to be doing a lot of, I have a big research article coming out for you on that. I quote 37 different studies. And so stay tuned for that. I'll be sharing that over probably the next, let's say 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you're not on my newsletter, I've had a newsletter since 2006. Well, might even be earlier, might be 2005. And I published that each and every week. So hopefully you're a part of that. You can just find it at stephencabral.com and scroll down to the bottom. All right. One more research study though, and this one is on pets. Couple of small studies, but it does work in humans and we don't need to go overboard on it, but it's this thing called medium chain triglycerides, or MCTs for short, or coconut oil, and coconut oil contains these MCTs. Okay. So couple of small studies. And although coconut oil can be applied for bug bites, rashes, etc., it can also be taken orally to boost brain health, improve blood sugar levels, lower inflammation, and help with weight loss. And this is in adults and in humans. And now it's been shown in a few small studies with dogs to reduce seizure frequency and also may help with overall weight as well. So what are they recommending for dogs right now? About 1 teaspoon for every 10 pounds. Personally, I would not use that much. It could cause loose stool with your dog. It's also higher in fats, meaning like you don't want to dramatically change the macros of your dog's diet. And so I have a new dog, a new puppy, and he's getting older now, but a King Charles Cavalier. Amazing dog. I've always had boxers growing up. I've had French bulldogs. I've had kind of like, although a French bulldog's small, they're kind of like rough and tough dogs. Never had a dog like a King Charles Cavalier. They are just the most lovable dogs. They're unbelievable. Anyway, so all to say, I'm a dog person. I love dogs, like all types of dogs. And of course, I want them to be as healthy as humanly possible. You may have heard about my dog Moose. If you haven't, I'll link up kind of a tribute to him. He passed away just about a year or so ago. And it just goes over his health and what we did for him in the last few years of his life. But anyway, what I want to share with you is this. I give my little guy, Bachi, now, and he's going to be somewhere about 20 pounds or so. So not a big dog by any means. Just about a half a teaspoon a day. That's it, maximum. And even for larger dogs, I wouldn't go beyond a half a tablespoon, so like 2 teaspoons maximum. I just wouldn't go that high. That's me. I'm always more on the cautious side. But of course, if your dog does have maybe canine epilepsy, etc., that might be a reason to go higher. But of course, even though we're not talking about veterinary medicine, I still can't give you any medical advice, but it's something that you may want to look into. Hopefully today's show was helpful. As always, please do share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. And if you need any of these links here today, head on over to stephencabral.com/2996. I'll be back tomorrow answering our community's questions. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.